Hi everyone, and let me see if this is rolling. So welcome to Messages from Venus. My name is Maddie. If you've never seen any of my page, of my videos, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you need any information or if you want to talk to me, if you want to purchase a reading or any other item from my shop, even though I only have the readings available right now, you guys can find all that information in the description box. So this book is, or this extensive letter is called The Willie Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave. So this is what it is here. I got this on Amazon. You guys can get this for very, very cheap. And this book basically tells you and gives you names and pictures that are pretty graphic, but it's important for us to have within our memory so that we can free ourselves from not just physical slavery, but also from mental slavery. So, Willie Lynch is someone who mastered the art of creating, not just creating a slave, but also allowing people or allowing slaves in America, specifically African Americans, even though they use this doctrine to enslave most people in the world today. If you read it, you will understand why. Because they basically not just trained parents, but they also trained the children of these slaves, who in turn the children became slaves, and so therefore there was and have will continue to be a market for slavery. So this letter basically tells you exactly how they thought of people, African American people, how they thought African American people shaped the economy of America. And it's important and it's imperative for people to know, because you will see that the Willie Lynch letter has been the basis or the grounds to enslave the mentality of humans. Because if you didn't know, or if you didn't know or know, I'm not quite sure, but we were not free. We were emancipated. So therefore, you will never stop being a slave, or you will never just be completely free. You will always be watched, and basically, you will always be the child or the children or the product of slaves, is what emancipation is actually telling you. That's what that's telling you. So I feel like African Americans and all Americans alike that understand the difference between being physically enslaved and also mentally enslaved, and the difference between seeing people for who they are, regardless of their color. It's important for you to read this letter, because then you will understand the hurt and where other people are coming from. Now, watching me do this video and then previously watching me do the response to Kanye West's comment, slavery was a choice. It might be a little contradicting, but I'll explain myself in this specific video and in other videos, because I have a lot of books such as these that awaken me to the hurt and pain of African Americans and slavery alike. Now, I don't have any African American ancestors. All of them came from other parts of the world, and also the Caribbeans, or Central America. But my people, as indigenous or aboriginals, were also enslaved. They were also tortured. So I understand. I understand the hurt. I understand the pain and the feeling that this couldn't possibly have been a choice. But why is it a choice? Because we continue the same bullshit. That's why. That's why it's a choice, because we continue it. Our ancestors are the Indians that were here, and the Native Americans that were here, whether you were in the Caribbean, Middle America, Central America, South America, or here, we all suffer from the inability to emancipate ourselves. So the first step to stopping yourself from becoming a slave is that you emancipate yourself, right? And then you become independent. And even though you are a working, talking corporation, because you were born here with a social security number and also a birth certificate, so therefore you will always be attached to the country that you're in, these type of books allow you to understand that it is okay to be absolutely free, and that it doesn't that you shouldn't feel belittled. You shouldn't feel like a piece of shit because you want to be free and you want to just detach yourself from your slave owner. Your slave owner can be, well, let me backtrack. Back then, your slave owner was the white man. Now, your slave owner can be this computer, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, your fucking job, your tax returns, your kids. They're not your slave masters. What has to stop your slave owners don't want you to stop is your independence. Is your ability to say no. Is now your ability to just walk away. Now there's rules and regulations put in place to at least allow you to live this illusion that we call life, which is actually death, a better illusion. And so that you're not attached to those same chains that your ancestors were attached, because now we have more opportunities and now we have a voice. But if you understand where you came from and you understand the mind of your slave owner or your master, then you will understand the way to independence. So that is the reason why I'm making these videos. So the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. It's a very important book to have, whether you're white, purple, or whatever it is. It's important for you to have, because at this point, all countries have emancipated their children. But most of us do not ever become independent because we do not know our power. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the doctrine. This is the doctrine, and it is important for you guys to know. The doctrine used to put you in the predicament that we are in today and that our ancestors had to go through. And how people back then, people like the grandfather of George Bush, your former president, or our former president, held this to the highest esteem. Okay? So I'm going to leave you guys with that, and I will see you guys in the next video.